How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I've heard you've been sort of getting back and doing some gigs and stuff around Melbourne recently. How's that been going for you?
Yeah, very unexpectedly, I'm gigging quite a bit. I was sick last week, so I had to cancel a festival, which was really sad. But I have a few shows coming up, which is really exciting.
So you just playing solo sets for those, just you and the guitar, or?
Yeah, at the moment I am, but I'm building a bit of a band.
Oh, nice.
Surprise. We'll do some band shows later this year, which will be very cool.
Yeah, you're gonna do a bit of a festival run as well.
Um, I think maybe next year because I feel like the festivals are gonna slow down a little bit. But if someone wants to have me, I'm very happy to come to a festival.
No, because listening through your music, I love your voice the most when it's like stripped back with just you and the guitar, and I think
Thank you.
I think it sounds beautiful then. So I'm loving all this like solo stuff, especially Burnt. I love that song.
Oh, thank you.
I'd love to know
Yeah,
more about the
well,
process of
I've
writing
I've
that.
always been performing solo because I only was doing performing like in music for about a year in Belgium, but then I knew that I was gonna leave, so I didn't want to build a band around me because I didn't want to say goodbye to people. So I was like, okay, I'll just do things on my own, and then I came here on a visa, which was temporary again, and I was like, maybe I should stay solo because I don't want to like commit to anything. But now I feel like I want to get to that next level, and I really want like a band around me because I'm this very nervous artist as well. Every time before a gig, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I hate music. But then once I'm on the stage, I really love performing. So yeah, I'm happy that I can do it again after such a crazy year.
Yeah, do you have a favorite like gig experience that you've had?
Um, I played at So Far Sounds in Belgium,
Oh,
which
yeah, I
was
saw
amazing.
that.
Yeah, that was. I feel like all the So Far Sound sessions are always people are there to genuinely listen to music, and yeah, I felt really exposed during that gig, but I really liked
Oh, I
it.
can
So
imagine
yeah,
because you've just got
that's
like such a small
yeah,
room that's all focused on
yeah,
you singing. You
and
know?
everyone was just like looking at me, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, I did see a video of that on YouTube, and it was really good. And as I was saying, I just love when it's just you and the guitar, and I feel like that's when the rawness, and the emotion
Yeah,
comes out.
yeah. I feel like I'm still gonna do solo gigs, but the more like festival vibes and the bigger gigs, I really want a band because it's just fun, and I really want my friends around me and making music together because I have always been doing things on my own, and I was always like I had this idea where if you're a singer songwriter you have to do things on your own, but I kind of stepped away from that because I have been collaborating with people now, and I feel like it just opened my eyes. I'm recording here at Small Time, and recording with James just like it gave me new visions of music, and I kind of want to collaborate a bit more as well.
Mm. I want to know a little bit about your like upbringing and how you got into music. Because
Yeah, I'm actually
at Sin we broadcast mostly to young people, so I'd love to know some advice you have, for young
I'm
people and
still
your
quite
journey.
young. I'm 25.
Yeah, but no,
um,
we have a lot of like teenage listeners, you know what I mean, going
oh
to high
yeah,
school. So people that are, exploring and just sort
yeah.
of
Well,
don't know if they want to do music or not.
I think I'm a really bad example because I'm not trained at all. I've never had any guitar lessons or any like singing classes. So this year is actually, I did one like before I left Belgium. I did half a year of songwriting and guitar classes, and I kind of lied my way into it because I had to be at this level already, which I wasn't because I had never had any guitar lessons. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. But it was yeah, I learned a lot, and now I'm getting some guitar classes. So I feel like I'm inexperienced still, but I kind of want to, yeah, I feel like I'm this person that always wants to keep learning.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and I want to stay that way. Just be a sponge and just soak it all in.
So do you reckon, like, do you wish you'd studied?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like especially in Melbourne, the scene is so good and everyone is a musician, everyone's trained and everyone understands everything. And I really admire that. And I wish I had done that. I used to play the saxophone actually, but I was a really bad student. I never rehearsed and then I dropped out.
Well, what kind of music's on your playlist at the moment? Like, what are you listening to?
Oh, I listen to a lot of Big Thief and like Phoebe Bridgers. I feel like you can hear it in my
Yeah, I
music style
can.
as well.
Yeah.
Like Daughter, or like the Power Femme music scene, Angie McMahon. Yeah.
I'd love to know what you love the most about the Melbourne scene.
Oh, it's community. And I've like the first weeks that I arrived here, I was so overwhelmed. I didn't know if I wanted to be like a musician anymore because I was like, oh, everyone's better than me, and I'm never gonna be a musician. But everyone's so welcoming, and I made a bunch of friends during lockdown, even over Zoom, and yeah, some people have become really close to my heart, and I feel like community is so strong here, and yeah, I feel really welcomed into it. I don't want to leave Melbourne anymore now.
Yeah, no, stay. Are
I'll
there any
try.
artists you have your eye on in terms of collaborations? Because you were saying you want to, reach out and you get the
Oh
creative.
yeah, I feel like everyone that wants to work with me, I'll make time for them, and yeah.
Do you have a process when it comes to songwriting? Does it just the song just comes to you and then you jot it down, or do you sit down and?
I kind of have this ongoing thing where I'm keeping this notebook and I write down every sentence that I like. Sometimes I'm this weird girl that wakes up in the middle of the night, like writing down things. My boyfriend then is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, just like a lyric." So yeah, I think that's an ongoing thing. Just like keep your eyes and ears open for things happening around you, because I'm writing from personal experience most of the time, and then you kind of have to do that. I think just being 24/7 songwriter.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, because I know do you want to play, like, learn piano or go back to saxophone? Because I know some artists say they find it easier knowing an instrument because then they can translate their ideas better.
Yeah. I would love to learn like synth and piano. Yeah, I admire people that can play like all the instruments. When I'm in the studio, I'm always like blown away by the talent of the people around me, because I can just like say, oh, I do this on like the fourth fret. I don't know which chord it is, but I know that I can, like, it sounds good. um, so yeah, I'm very much keen to learn more about like the musical theory, but I also like that it's coming from the heart. Like if I don't like something, then I just won't play it. So maybe that's how my songwriting is so like simple, because it's just the things that I know and the things that I like what I hear. So yeah, I think it both, like, what I want to say is don't get discouraged if you don't have a musical background, because I definitely don't, and I just like what I hear sometimes, and then you can just roll with it, I think.
And I feel like I'm getting to know who you are through the music and listening to the music that you create, and getting to know you through the songs and just that, like, the rawness of it. I'd love to know, like, how you're going to go about incorporating the other musicians and the other instruments. Like, do you just sort of go, okay, like I want this sort of band set up, or maybe I'll add horns or something, or like I want to get to know the people first before the music.
Yeah, well, I think I know where I want to go, but sometimes I don't know how to get there, and that's very much what I had with James recording. I was like, look, I want this, but I don't know how it should sound. And he's like, yeah, I think, like, I feel like if you're surrounding yourself with people that have the same view of like life and the view of music genres that they like, it's gonna like fall into places anyway. And I played at the Night Cat a while ago, and I was like, I really don't like performing solo because I'm always so stressed. So I'm going to do an open call for bandmates. And then a few people came up to me afterwards, and I think I found like the perfect bandmates because of that. And I just said like, I just want it to be fun. And I feel like everyone in Melbourne is going to be a better guitarist or a better synth player than I am. So it's just like, I just want to make it a fun thing. And I feel like if you see a band having fun, that's the most precious thing.
What message do you want to get across in your music to the audience?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like I'm always writing, the main theme of my music, I feel like, is insecurity, because I'm a very insecure person. And I feel like I just want to get the message across to like younger people that it's okay to not be okay, and just to like roll with it and just try to be as happy as you can, and you don't always have to be happy. I feel like that's everyone's like goal in music, just to like connect with people and just tell your own story and be heard. Maybe that's the most important thing in music for me.
Yeah, so people, feel connected because they go, oh yeah, like, I've experienced that.
Yeah, I think I just love music so much, and I love people, and that's just, yeah, performing is so beautiful, because sometimes after a gig people come up to me and they're like, oh, like I could really relate to that lyric because I have this and this. And I don't want to be too specific in my songwriting as well, because then people can give their own story to it. So it has like this double meaning.
Early in your life, did you were you like, oh, I want to do music, but I'm not too sure. Like, I listen to a lot of music, but I can't play very well. Or what was the goal career-wise?
I actually, when I was 18, I really wanted to be a musician, and I did an audition for a music school, and I didn't get it. And I was like, oh, well, I'll stop music now forever. I don't want to do it anymore. So then I moved to Australia actually when I was 18, because I just wanted to get away from everything and I wanted to think. And after a year in Australia, I didn't know like what I wanted to do still. I just had a good time in Australia. But I kind of fell in love. I lived in Brisbane, and I kind of fell in love with the country. And it was an enlightening experience, but not for music. And then I took a break, and I didn't really perform. I just kept making music in my bedroom. And then the year before I left Belgium, I did an open mic again, and I was like, I actually still love music and I love performing. And then from there, it just like accelerated a little bit, and I started playing a lot more. And then I released my EP, and then I left, and then I came here.
Well, to end it off, I should ask if there's a message you want to give out to any of your fans listening right now.
Well, just like, thank you. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for just listening to my music and listening to my story, because I sometimes don't think that my story is big enough, or my story is, different enough from like what everyone else has to say. So I'm happy that people are listening.
Well, thank you. Thanks for chatting with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I feel really honored.